here.
I think they were similar.
Yeah, but not as hot.
Well, it's not as hot here as it is in the Gobi.
I guess it's true. You're right. You have a point. God damn it, you have a point.
Oh, and so you wanna? I have an idea how to start. I think we should do R.I.P.D, and it'll be like robots talking. ChatGPT shitty robots.
I like that more than my idea.
What's your idea?
We were just gonna both die like a stupid way, and then we just live our stupid lives in the afterlife, just like the same.
Already.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that.
I like R.I.P.D. That's good. What's another pun that you could do with this? L.I.P.D.
Pieces. R.I.P.D. You ripped your pants.
I like R.I.P.D. FYI, the week before your birthday one, the 8/4 episode, we will just be getting back. Marina and I, we're planning a trip to Denver, and we're going to just be getting back that day. Might move it to Monday potentially, but we're doing that Kung Fu Panda ripoff, The Legend of Kung Fu Rabbit. So,
okay, that's cool.
Kind of excited for that. And Carter's going to let me know if he can join us next week for Double Down.
That'd be cool.
I can't believe you missed Frank, though.
Yeah, it was sad. Was it a good episode? I guess I'll find out tomorrow.
It was a pretty good episode.
Did they like my review?
Yeah. Robert was like, I just pulled out the thesaurus for everything. He's like, why is that so smart? It's like he wrote a real review on it.
That's true. My Letterboxd review is shitty. My addendum's better.
All right. R.I.P.D. it is. Is my YouTube going? My YouTube is going.
Ready.
All right.
Bang this whole thing out. Let's try it. I'm going to get up and charge my computer.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. Play.
How may I help you today?
How may I help you today?
Oh no, there is someone who needs arrested.
I am a normal human being, and I would like to help you arrest this man.
Arrest? We talking arrests? What you talking about arrests? I'm talking crimes. They talking about arrests. I'm talking crimes.
Cracker.
Ain't no arrest.
You are breaking.
Talking about arrest.
You are breaking laws. You are dead human being. Must be arrested.
You don't talk about arrest. You ain't talking about arrest. I'm talking about doing crimes.
No crimes here. We must adhere to normal protocol. Crimes are bad.
You got to get stepped over.
You can't step over me. I am just an entity. I am
AI.
the R.I.P.D.
I am AI. I'm the answer. What a theme song. We never talk about that.
It's a great theme song. Devin did a hell of a good job.
A hell of a good job.
I remember when we first started this, I think the first 2 episodes don't have it.
I hope so. It wasn't that long ago.
It was a long time ago. When we first started it, we didn't have it like the first 2 episodes or maybe, and he was like, all right, send me just as many like iconic movie quotes as you can. Get me like 20 of them. So I sent him like good and bad, good and bad. I did like 10 and 10, like great iconic ones, and then 10 like funny quotes from bad films. And so yeah, he then did that like guitar riff thing, but then layered all the voices quietly together so it sounds like a mumble, and then brought out certain moments of the one. So starting it off right away with 50 Shades of Fucked Up. Then the You Can't Handle the Truth, iconic.
That's right.
Then the Killing Me Won't Bring Back Your Goddamn Honey, just hilarious. And then
the good, the bad, and the bad.
It sounds like he said good, the movies, but he swears it's the good, the bad. But he used the auto voice generator to make it sound like the No, I Am Your Father, which was also another one I submitted.
So many.
So what a theme song.
Theme song for a podcast that has questions. Song. That's me prompting you to ask the questions.
You want me to ask you a question? I am supposed to answer questions.
Thank you, AI. I was also being AI. I was being Allen Iverson.
AI. I was thinking, what if we did Aang from like The Last Airbender? Aang, the Avatar. No. But no, Aang yeah, that's a stupid idea.
That's a bad idea.
Aang. I do have questions for you though.
Oh, I thought you didn't, and you were stalling. Okay.
No, well, I was definitely stalling, but
you have them now.
I do have them now. First question: do you like cops, specifically big city cops?
Yeah, usually. I usually like New York or Boston. I don't know. I don't like LA cops as much as there's something about a Northeast cop. Yeah, like them.
Yeah, the accent really carries it.
Totally.
Second question: do you like Ryan Reynolds movies?
No, I don't. I don't know what my favorite Ryan Reynolds is. And I don't, if it is high, I don't think it's because of him. I don't think there is one. Maybe like Adventureland at like 3 stars.
I was going to say Crazy Stupid Love, and then I realized that's Ryan Gosling. Love Ryan Gosling.
Love Ryan Gosling.
I'm going to look up Ryan Reynolds right now. Deadpool, Deadpool 2,
side
Buried, Free Guy, If.
Nope.
Spirited. Oh, he was in Bullet Train. I didn't see that,
Didn't see it.
Red Notice.
Hated that.
I didn't hate Red Notice. That was pretty good. Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Yeah.
He's in like The Croods. He was in the Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw spinoff. He played Pikachu in Pokemon Detective Pikachu. Nothing's like standing out yet, but people love Ryan Reynolds and his.
And those people are wrong. Those people
he was in that Life, that alien one.
Yeah,
that I heard wasn't very good.
I'm not going to denigrate those people, but where's the taste, my friends?
Million Ways to Die in the West, Turbo. He was in Ted.
Maybe
The
Turbo's
Change Up.
The best Ryan Reynolds movie.
Turbo is the best Ryan Reynolds movie. Oh, what about that one where he plays the fat guy, Just Friends? You love that one.
Don't like that one.
Green Lantern, Paper.
Give me more questions. Here's my thing with Ryan Reynolds. I crystallized it over the weekend. I think he always acts, without exception, like he is the smartest guy in the room. And I also think, without exception, that Ryan Reynolds has never been the smartest guy in any room that he's been in. So there's like a tension there, and it's not a good one.
Yeah. I found my favorite. It's The Proposal is my favorite Ryan Reynolds film with Sandra Bullock.
Yes, whatever.
My last question for you. Do you like Deados?
Deados. They're kind of boring too.
Yeah, they work. So
could have more to them.
If you've answered questions to liking big city cops, Ryan Reynolds movies,
no,
or Deados,
no,
you've come to the right place. This is the good, the bad, and the police department.
Okay. I guess you're
under arrest. Trump was shot.
This is episode 500. Oh yeah, Trump was shot.
This is episode 162.
It's
episode 162 of the Good to Bad movies.
I was gonna say we've always planned it out that our show is like a baseball season, and so this is closing day. This is our last day of the season.
We're getting into our playoffs next week
Yes, we
with
are.
double down.
Yes, we are. In our wild card matchup.
We're playing double down in the first round of the playoffs. It's a wild card matchup.
If we come out on top, we're 162-0. So I don't know how we got into a wild
Now
card.
I want to look back at some of our other episodes and figure out what was our 82nd episode for the end of like a basketball season, and then our
we'll do that at a different time.
17th for football.
That'll be a
how many
bonus
games?
Episode.
How many hockey games are in a season?
Like 7.
No, that's
it's like
not
7
right.
Games. 7
that's
matches.
Not right.
Excuse me.
Yes, there you go. That's what was wrong. So we watched R.I.P.D, or known as Rest in Police Department from 2013. Had you seen?
No. I remember the ads being all over the damn place when this came out.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Me Too movement was big back then.
The Me Too movement.
So
I remember seeing the ads and thinking,
I'm thinking, dumb.
This is going to be a load of dog shit. Like,
or the dog shit. Yeah. I remember having those feelings.
Just the name itself, R.I.P.D. I mean, it's clever, but I was like, oh no.
Bad name for him. You know what the direction is. I think maybe back then, what did you say, 2013, right?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes, he says. He says yes. 2013, I was maybe starting to form my film opinions, and I looked at this and I'm like, that is not a man I want to see. Ryan Reynolds. Even that stank was on him. Even if I hadn't like fully dipped my toes in.
I think the first year I really started to appreciate film was 2010, the year of Inception and The Social Network and The Fighter and Black Swan. I was like, wow,
great. Even I didn't give a shit until I think like my senior year, high school. But yeah,
nice. Well, we're drinking beers today. I don't have any beers, but I am drinking my classic podcast piss.
Podcast piss. I will be going up to get water, I think, at times.
Nice. Wow, you have that?
That ability. You see, I'm in the living room. Alex and her mother are at Jason Isbell's concert. All right, the Jason Isbell concert. So
interesting. Is that a country star?
It's a country folk. It's like a
country.
He was in Killers of the Flower Moon.
I haven't seen yet.
He's won like 1 billion Grammys. I think.
Huh. Okay.
Like a good one.
Even though Beyonce just set the record for 27, he's won 1 billion.
He's got 1 billion. She's got a 27.
So a movie, a director, Robert Schwenke.
Schwenke. Wow, that's not the record either. Doesn't Quincy Jones have like 50 Grammys?
No, I thought it was. I think Beyonce holds the record for most Grammy wins
by any human.
By a single artist. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she just set the record.
She did. You're right.
I thought she passed like Stevie Wonder or something.
She passed Sir George Solti and then Quincy Jones.
The fucking Sir George Solti.
He's a Bulgarian conductor.
Huh. Ooh, Marina's watching
31 grams.
Marina's watching The Real Housewives of New York, and it was the end of one of the seasons, and one of the girls is actually like a movie producer, and it was like early in the 2000s. She got sued by a production company because she was supposed to make a movie and it was supposed to have John Travolta, but everything fell through. They sued her. She lost $7 million. But I was like, oh, I wonder what movie this John Travolta thing was. And Marina found what it was. It was called Fast Flash to Bang Time.
Gee, that sounds great.
I was like, what the fuck is Fast Flash to Bang Time? There's like no plot and never left production, so
we gotta get a hold of that script.
Yeah, we do. But Robert Schwenke, he has directed things such as Heaven with an exclamation point, Tattoo, Flight Plan, The Time Traveler's Wife,
Yeah, boring.
Whoa, I heard that beep again.
That was
Weird.
you. That was
Weird when that happens. The ensemble cast film Red.
I hated. Oh wait, no, that's Red Notice. I hated.
Yeah, this one had like Bruce Willis and
Angelina and
Sylvester Stallone, I think. He directed both Insurgent and Allegiant, the second and third in the Divergent series films,
Yeah, I
which
have
is
the books in my
one of
classroom.
your favorite trilogies. Directed The Captain, Snake Eyes, Seneca, and one episode of the television show Lie to Me.
Oh, our show. Go back. Click on Snake Eyes. Is that the Nicolas Cage film, Snake Eyes?
I'm looking it up right now.
Looking it up, folks. I don't believe it is.
Snake Eyes.
The
A
Nicolas Cage
19
film.
No, that's Brian De Palma.
Yes, that's a good movie.
This one was Snake Eyes from 2021
Oh, that makes sense. Bad movie.
with Henry Golding.
And bad people. What about writers?
Written by Evan Spiliotopoulos. Oh my
A
goodness.
Greek,
So
a
Greek.
Greekish guy. Does he write this
writer.
film? Elio
No.
Stephanopoulos.
There is a duo of Phil Hay and Matt Manfredi.
Hey, Manfredi.
And they've written Crazy Beautiful, The Tuxedo, Clash of the Titans, Ride Along 1 and 2, The Invitation, Destroyer, and 16 episodes of the Mysterious Benedict Society.
You know,
and then Matt Manfredi also wrote Bug.
Bug. You always see writing duos on scripts. You never see writing duos on plays or novels.
True. It's
Why?
always one.
How come they don't collaborate in those mediums?
They don't stop, collaborate, and listen. You're right. They don't.
You ever read a novel written by two people?
No, I haven't. But there's another writer too, David Dobkin. He's written
David Dobkin.
Ice Cream Man, Jack the Giant Slayer, The Judge, King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and Under the Boardwalk. But we know him as the director of Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, that did sound familiar.
Saga of
you liked better
the
than
Story of Fire saga.
Song and Fire.
You liked Song and Fire. I did. I thought it was pretty
Might
good.
be the case here today.
And then based on a comic book, R.I.P.D. by Peter M. Lenkov and Lucas Marengin. So.
We've talked about this before. This feels like a movie. And it bucks the trend. Maybe the comic is based on this as well. It feels like a movie that was based on the title of the movie, and they backtracked. They worked backwards from there. Right? Yes. They're like, all right, let's start here. What's it going to be called? R.I.P.D. That's funny. What do we got? How do we make that work? Versus writing a normal story and then calling it something afterwards.
They named it R.I.P.D. They came up with the term Deados, and then
Deados.
That was the second thing.
I think they might have came up with the term Deados last. That might have been the last thing they came up with at like the last second deadline.
And we'll get into this, but they had I can't remember when the comic came out. It wasn't like super early. 1999. This has
after Men in Black.
Yeah, that's what such heavy Men in Black influences on it. So
I was exactly
Men in Black and Ghostbusters mixed together,
and a little bit of stupidity.
A little bit of Jessica. Yeah.
We're on fire tonight.
We're kicking ass. Well, a cast. You got Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, boo.
Jeff Bridges?
Yay.
I do like Jeff Bridges, except this movie just kind
of. I mean,
didn't enunciate anything.
Don't hate it.
You've got Mary Louise Parker.
Oh.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon rocks. What's your Bacon score?
My Bacon score was that.
Yeah, don't you remember that?
I forget so much.
Where you find that everybody's connected to Kevin Bacon in some way.
Oh,
Nobody's like more than 7 connections away from
yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
I've done this before. I think it's probably like 3.
Yeah, probably. You've also got Stephanie Jostak, the sexy French wife of Ryan Reynolds in the movie. I don't know. The last name doesn't seem French, but I thought she had a heavy French accent. Yeah, maybe. James Hong, Marissa
Yeah.
Miller,
Okay.
Robert Knapper, and Mike O'Malley.
From Guts. You ever watch Guts as a kid?
No, haven't.
Oh, really? You never watched what was that? The game show Nick Channel? Nick Games or whatever?
The Legend
That's
of the
where
Hidden
Legends.
Temple?
Yeah, but Guts was my favorite one. It was this athletic competition between the kids, and he was the host. Michael. He also
I do.
hosted this other Nick game show. It was like fucking Pictionary or some shit.
Do you remember the one where the families
Love Mike
competed against
O'Malley.
each other? Where they did intellectual and athletic and skill
Little bit.
bonding? Man, those were.
I
Do
didn't
you
like that
remember the
one.
Disney Channel Olympic Games? Those
Those
rocked.
those were cool. Those were cool. I'm a
Any
Guts man myself.
anytime you'd see like who was matched up, you'd be like, okay, come on, this one's got Wendy Wu, Homecoming Warrior, and the Sprouse twins and Mitchell Musso. They're not gonna lose. But then you see Zac Efron on the other team, you're like, fuck, they might lose.
Golden
Corbin.
age of
Yeah.
cinema.
Yeah, I do like Mike O'Malley. I know him from The Good Place. He's the doorman.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You also gave a to James Hong, and I recognized him from somewhere,
Everything
but
Everywhere All at Once. He's your
shit, that's
grandpa.
where it's from. Yeah,
He's finally
amazing.
back. Yeah, he was so good in that. So
And then
good.
a cop killed by his own partner joins
No.
R.I.P.D, an afterlife law enforcement department working to apprehend various monsters disguised as humans living on Earth, and he gets paired up with a smart-mouthed veteran. Yeah.
It's like you microwave Men in Black.
It was it was a piece of meat, like a burger, or it was a nice medium piece of meat, and then it came out well done. Yeah.
You know what?
And then a little history about the LAPD. We're gonna talk.
The history is coming to race at the horse race.
The history of horse races. Here we go. I'm so unprepared. You missed it. I'll tell you now. You'll probably hear it tomorrow. But Robert, when we were doing the history is coming, he was doing Paul Revere stuff. It's like, is it 1 by land, 1 by air, and 2 by sea? He's like, we were like, wait, 1 by air? Who's by air in the 1700s? The British had stealth bomb.
And he's moving away, you said?
Maybe.
This is tragic.
We'll tell him to buy a mic.
Definitely.
Virtual in.
O'Malley.
We'll tell him to buy his own Mike O'Malley. Get some guts action going. But history. R.I.P.D. also marketed as Rest in Peace Department. It's Rest in Peace Department, not Rest in Police Department.
Yeah. Rest in Peace Department.
I thought the PD, they mashed them. Anyway, is a 2013 American supernatural action comedy film based on the 1999 comic R.I.P.D. by Peter M. Lenkov and Lucas Morangan. Yeah. In April of 2006, following the success of Wedding Crashers, director David Dobkin was set to helm an in-development adaptation of the comic book for Universal, with Phil Hay and Matt Manfredi hired to write the screenplay. However, in September 2010, Universal officially greenlit the film with Robert Schwenke to direct and Ryan Reynolds in the lead role, as David Dobkin had since dropped out. The movie had a direct-to-DVD prequel called R.I.P.D. 2 Rise of the Damned, which was released on November 15th, 2022, 9 years later.
Which I take umbrage with. Good word. Thank you.
Yeah.
I take umbrage with that because it's a prequel. I hate when prequels are named number 2. Number 2 would insinuate it comes after.
Yeah.
It's just a problem.
Star Wars did it best. Episode 1.
Episode 1, yeah, is the 4th one. We all know Star Wars had it perfectly down. Totally makes sense.
Additionally, Atlas published a video game on the film titled R.I.P.D. The Game, which was released on July 16, 2013 for Microsoft Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360.
Did not
game
watch the gameplay for that.
Is a co-op third-person shooter set around a survival mode. So it's just zombies.
That's sick. I would play that, actually.
You play R.I.P.D. The Game on the PS3? Hell yeah.
I got a PS3.
So,
a PS4. Something like that.
I know you have a PS4. That's what we had in our apartment.
I don't know the tetralogy of it all.
Good word. Umbrage.
Umbrage, thank you.
And now it's a budget time.
That's why she's Professor Umbridge, and she's kind of a nasty figure.
Yeah.
Budget time.
Did you ever watch Gentlemen Broncos?
Never.
Oh, you told me you were going to watch it the next day and then give me your score, and then I edited it, and I was like, you never gave me a score. It was rated absolutely terribly. Made no money whatsoever. You were so wrong.
Would I have liked it? In your opinion?
No.
Even as the guy who did Napoleon?
It's closer to Nacho Libre than Napoleon.
Is it past Nacho Libre?
No.
It's between Nacho and Napoleon.
It might pass Nacho. It's not racist. Quit giving me thumbs up and thumbs down. But Emily made up a budget song. You want to hear hers?
Please.
Did you listen to the episode yet? She went, budget time, does whatever a budget can.
That's not bad.
Sling some dimes.
Spider Pig.
Yeah. I liked it. I was like, we don't have the rights to that, but I appreciate the effort.
We do not. We certainly do.
But a budget. What do you think this movie cost to make?
It's a little indie flick.
It's not a little indie flick.
What studio made
Universal?
And what? Not that it's anything to do with the budget, but what date was it released?
July 19th, 2013.
That's a good time slot. I'll say the movie cost $89 million.
It's actually $130 million.
Thought it might be more. Okay.
Seth wins. But Ryan Reynolds, Jeff Bridges, action kind of movie. What do you think this made opening weekend? July 19th.
July 19th. That's a good weekend. It's a good weekend, Brandon. I'm going to say it opened at number 1 to $31 million.
Nice. It's actually $12.7 million.
Oh, it's R.I.P.D. R.I.P. the box office.
R.I.P.D's nuts. Yeah? He loves it. U.S. and Canada. Total.
80
million. It's actually much lower. It's 33.6 million.
But this seems like a China type movie, right?
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask worldwide next. So
80.
Do you think?
I bet it made 110 million.
Do you think Mozambique watched this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Mike O'Malley.
Wait, are you going? Mozambique watched so much guts. It's crazy.
The answer is 110 million.
I was going to ask which one you're going with. The winner today is Seth. It's 78.3, Lucas.
I overestimated the world once again. My optimism for humanity.
So strictly by numbers, it lost over $50 million.
Plus more, probably.
Plus, definitely, it's
I
a
thought,
big
dang,
loss.
I thought this would have made money upon
It
initial
feels like a
glance.
movie that would have made money for sure, but
On initial glance, yes,
it's coming off the Ryan Reynolds hate when he made the DC Green Lantern film.
deserved,
I
deserved.
never saw it. I heard it was garbage.
I didn't either, but it's deserved.
And then he
It's Ryan.
redeemed himself with
Nope,
Deadpool, which
he
was
did
ranked
not.
the number 5 best film of the 2010s.
It was not.
Yeah, don't you remember
Thanks,
that
Mark.
list I sent you from ranker.com?
Well, those people all shot at Trump yesterday, so I don't think so.
That's true. I saw that list. I was like, oh my
Love
god, I have to
Deadpool.
send this to Lucas right now.
Love
It was
Deadpool.
if you guys don't know, the list was like Inception, but then Avengers Infinity War, then The Dark Knight Rises, then Avengers Endgame, then Deadpool, and it was like Avengers and Avengers. I was like, oh my god, and then it was Parasite,
Yeah, that
Joker.
one. Well, people are so stupid, Brandon.
There were like 6 superhero movies, and if you count Joker in that realm, a 7th. So
It is. Yeah.
yeah,
DC
it's
movie.
crazy. But yeah, so a huge ass loss.
Flop, some big floppies on this
Big
guy,
old floppies.
on this man.
Next
Don't get
person
fired.
next
Don't get
lady you
divorced.
see out on the street. Oh my god, that lady's got big old floppies.
It's like a 2013 film R.I.P.D. You can tell that.
Yeah, that's what people know as
They
floppies
want
are
to be.
R.I.P. and big breasts.
They want to be their breasts to be compared to it.
So it is tagline time.
Ooh, how about the Grateful Deados?
That's good. I like that.
How about Deados and Company?
That's good. I like that.
How about John Mayer and the Grateful Deados?
Why is John Mayer at the front of that?
He's with the Grateful Dead now, I think.
Is
Or Dead and
he?
Co. or one of the two. Yeah, he's like their front guy.
John Mayer and the Beatles in
John
R.I.P.D.
Mayer and the Beatles star in R.I.P.D.
I
Starring
was.
Brandon Snedeker.
What about this movie's gonna blow your head off
Um,
or blow your brains out?
how about this movie? This movie, huh? It's a
It's
movie,
just
huh?
this movie and Italian hands.
And the Italian hands emoji.
Brought to you by the director of Lie to Me.
It's a
That's good.
movie. He does have. He
I
loves Boston. What can you say? Yeah. What do you
mean
think,
that is
Brandon?
true. I was just gonna say I would see anything that has brought to you by the director of Lie to Me on it.
That's because he doesn't lie. So you know his movies. We're gonna tell you the truth about something or other.
Oh, this is actually a decent tagline. What about this movie's gonna make you feel so alive?
That is good. A genuine time. Let's do that. Be nice
Wait,
to
we
the
didn't even say
fellas.
the real taglines. What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
We
jumped in.
just went for it.
What is
Our
it?
winner,
What is it?
our winner today either is going to be my good one, or I'm thinking this is a movie with the
It's a
Italian hit.
movie. What are their taglines?
The two are to protect and serve the living. Protect and serve, I guess. Okay. The second one. Oh, excuse me. Oh goodness. Number 2 is they're defending our world one soul at a time.
They're both pretty
Eh.
boring.
Yeah. This is lacking some Italian charm, to be
It
honest.
does. As are most taglines these days.
You are right. Yeah, a lot too little Italian influence. So
Yeah, no.
ours were better.
Italiano Minissimi. Cat's facts.
Cat's facts.
Rest in peace, cats.
That's so bad, but I like it. R.I.P.C. Yeah. What about Deado Facts?
Boris Dynam.
What about why
Kevin
am I
Bacon
yawning
Facts.
so much? Yawn Facts.
We just do rest in peace cats. Because it sounds like facts, and then it's like we're at like a cat funeral. Oh no, Snowball died. Everyone say your thoughts. Say your thoughts on Snowball. R.I.P. cats.
Oh, you cut out for a second, then you're like, "Oh no, Snowball died," and
Oh,
what are you?
Snowball died.
What? What?
Snowball.
Ah!
Rest in
I
peace,
don't know.
cats.
I don't know what
Man,
the fuck.
Snowball is dead. What? Share some
Who
thoughts
is?
about Snowball with the world.
Oh, Snowball. Snowball
Snowball.
died. Rest in peace, cats. Facts.
You have to
I
eulogize. Step
our
up to the
first
plate, son.
Snowball was so loved here.
Thank you.
Loved so much that in a Reddit AMA discussion, Jeff
Brilliant.
Bridges said that he enjoyed making the movie with the cast and crew, especially Snowball, but attributed its failure to studio interference. Bridges said the suits just cut it against the grain, and I thought it screwed it up. He described the film as underwhelming, and so did Snowball.
Snowball. That's interesting. He defended it by saying
I'm
Snowball.
so
But that
lost.
was great. It was interesting. He defended the movie's quality by saying I had a fun time making it.
You did have a fun time. That's what happens when you work with Ryan Reynolds.
I bet. And this is the product.
You have a fun time, not a good time.
You probably have a good time. You don't have a
Yeah.
critically successful time.
Or apparently box office.
Not this time.
Next, Jeff Bridges has an extensive display of his doodles on his website. In the first scene at R.I.P.D. Boston, his doodle of Proctor is on the clipboard that he throws onto the desk.
His own doodle. He's a doodler, Jeff Bridges is. What a hobby to doodle. I've doodled. Her.
Huh?
What?
What about that chick?
I'll doodle that chick, I said.
Oh, he doodled her for sure.
He doodled. He is her.
Did you see that beard bite at the end? What the fuck was that?
Really good.
Next, on July 16th, Adult Swim's YouTube channel uploaded an animated prequel short, which was produced by Titmouse Inc. and featured the voice work of Reynolds and Bridges.
Oh, so that's like a proof of concept deal then.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, well, they're fine as a duo, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And Adult Swim will do anything.
Did you ever see? I never saw this, but everyone jerks themselves off to it. You ever see The Nice Guys with Gosling and Russell Crowe?
No, I've heard it's so good.
I would imagine that dynamic would be similar to this dynamic. There's a little cop, fancy, smart talking new guy. Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
And they shoot ghettos.
They don't shoot deados in that though, and that's why that movie is jerked off to.
Ghettos.
Next, this is so stupid. The license plate of the VCR repair shop car has the license plate 314159, which are the first 6 digits of pi. 3.14159. Like, what is that? What does that matter?
That's cool.
Why does that matter?
It doesn't.
Oh my goodness. Next. The Boston police cruisers and ID badges throughout the movie bear the insignia of the same fictional district, A8, that is featured in many movies, including That's My Boy from 2012 and The Town from 2010.
Ooh, I think this is all one universe then?
Yeah, and you love The Town.
You love the town. So therefore I love this movie. There are
Yep.
deados in the town.
I don't know. I haven't
Think
seen
about
The Town yet. I want to.
Maybe Ben out. You listen to the town, that's fucked up, right?
The Town. Yeah, I know.
Don't you have the DVD? Everybody has the DVD.
I don't think I have the DVD. No, and I have a shit ton of DVDs.
It's got the nun on it. It's like a popular DVD.
That's
Dressed
the
as
Nun
nuns.
that you're thinking of.
No, they're wearing nun masks.
So you're telling me the Nun doesn't have a nun on the front of it?
I would be shocked if it did.
I do have that one. Oh, what's it called? I can't remember anymore. Never mind.
Micro penis.
What the fuck? I was gonna say I have a DVD of the one old dude that loves to paint, but I can't remember
Bob
the name of
Ross?
the movie anymore. I got it from the Hastings blowout sale for $10 in my like trash bag worth of shit that I just got everything from.
Wish we still had Hastings. I never met Hastings.
You never went to Hastings? Ah, great place.
Eat hot chip and lie. That's all I do.
Great place. We would always hit up Hastings like the week before the Oscars and rent as many of the Oscar nominated films and then also rent video games to play video games there.
That's it.
And then we'd hit up
Hastings.
the Newsmax.
And your cousin worked there.
My cousin did work there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Great place. Next. This is the penultimate. After the Deado jumps out the window, the giant ginger sideburns one, Roy pushes... Oh, no, this is a different one. Sorry. Roy pushes Nick out the window in pursuit. As they fall, you probably noticed this. This is the first Deado. Roy rides Nick, waving his hat in the air and cheering.
Dr. Strangelove.
And this is reminiscent of Slim Pickens' role in Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb from 1964 as he rides the nuke after it's dropped.
For all of its beauty, there probably is not a better name ever invented than Slim Pickens, right?
I thought you were gonna say the name of the film, Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
But just a character, like a big country character, and his name is Slim Pickens.
That's a great name.
Good. That's all good. I think that Kubrick guy might know what he's doing.
It goes Slim Pickens, then Deados.
And Deados. Number 1 and 2.
And my ultimate fact is that Zach Galifianakis was originally cast as Roy, but dropped out due to scheduling conflicts. Oh. And Jodie Foster was considered for the role of Proctor.
Galifianakis would have made it, I think, way worse. And I love Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, I do too.
That would have been horrific. And then I would have liked Jodie Foster. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's great. But like, did they rewrite the character for Jeff Bridges? Because there's no way.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no way it could have been an 1800s Western
cyber cop or something. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Zach Galifianakis is not a hard-mouthed veteran Western cop.
I mean, that just wouldn't have worked. That film wouldn't have worked. Like, not much like this film might not have worked. Who knows?
Speaking of Jodie Foster, Trump was shot.
Yep. Did it to impress her. The second time.
I'm glad you picked up on that reference. I don't know how many people actually knew that Ronald Reagan tried to be assassinated because the guy who shot him was trying to impress Jodie Foster.
I'll tell all the kids that, as well as the fact that Jodie Foster is a lesbian, so it's the most coolest fact of all time.
It's super funny. He's like, he's trying to impress.
He's out now. He's like touring his folk music. John Hinckley Jr.
The guy who's out of prison.
Yeah. He's out of jail. He's out of prison.
He's touring folk music right now.
Correct.
What the hell? I do not know about that. That's crazy.
Let's also check his tour dates. And then we have a lady.
Yeah, a lady.
A lady. He's got lots of songs.
That's crazy.
They keep postponing his concerts, though.
Oh my God, Lucas. We missed out on a tagline.
Opportunity?
The Deado inside. The Deado inside. Every single one of us. Deado inside.
That's
So
right.
Nicole is a deado for sure.
Yeah. What kind of deado is she? Is there really different types of deados? They're just always gross and fat. Okay.
Yeah, like their skin's melting, or they have multiple eyes, or
They're
extra
just like
limbs.
mutants. I wish the deados had some style or categories to them a little bit. Like this deado can fly. This deado is super smart.
I mean, the one could run up walls and things.
Yeah. A special deado.
So let's make Nicole a
One can
deado,
stop time.
but give her a superpower. Like she can sweat so much.
So much. But not enough to fill a pool or anything, just enough to make it real slippery.
Yeah, not to use it like a weapon, like a Pokemon, like water gun. No, it's just she sweats so much that it makes everything. It's almost like a slug. Nicole is a slug
Yeah.
that
Well, have we done that
sweats so.
before?
No, I don't think we made her a frog. We made her a frog, and then we took a penis and stapled it to her back. And oh my god, it's Mongo.
Mongo the movie cat. Hi, Mongo.
Mongo, I've got ratings for you.
Mongo.
We
Wait,
watched.
hold on.
Whoa, what's wrong?
How long have you been recording for
How long have I been recording for?
on Audacity?
43 minutes and 36 seconds.
Okay, perfect. Because I hit cancel and it paused everything for a second. I thought it paused that, but we're good. Okay,
Oh, good. Okay.
ignore that bit.
Mongo, we watched R.I.P.D. Heavy influences. What do you think of Men in Black?
Mongo. Men in Black Mongo. Will Smith Mongo. Um, Mongo says he's never seen Men in Black, which
Wow.
is inexplicable because I thought you were Tommy Lee Jones completionist, Mongo.
I love Tommy Lee Jones. Love Tommy Lee
Um,
Jones.
yeah, he said, give me a different one. That's weird. You've never seen Men in Black.
Men in Black 2.
Mongo, Men in Black 2. Oh, he loves Men in Black 2. You're right, Brandon. He does love Men in Black 2. I think you'd like the first one then, Mongo.
I heard an 8.5 out of that,
8.5. You heard it. You heard it from Mongo first.
which is worse than the first one. So, the first one might be a 10 for him. What do you think of
He's got eclectic
Ghostbusters,
taste.
Mongo?
Ghostbusters Mongo is 4.1. He doesn't like Bill Murray.
Oh, okay. But he loves Ghostbusters too. He loves sequels,
Yeah,
specifically
legacy.
sequels that are prequels.
Yeah, you're the opposite of me, Mongo.
So Nicole is a deado and she's super sweaty. That's her superpower.
And and Colin Farrell and Matthew Broderick are chasing her, and they can't get her, but she slips away.
Yeah, and it causes like a giant car crash. Everybody's hydroplaning in the streets as she runs away.
And then Matthew Broderick crosses the center line again.
Yeah, and then he causes. Not only does she cause a giant wreck, he
Yeah,
does too.
that's why you don't get them in the same room together very often.
I've never seen Nicole and Matthew in the same room.
Because you'd see a car crash immediately after Brandon. You try and keep them apart.
Yeah.
That's
So,
why.
that's perfect. We got Mongo
Perfect.
shit in, Nicole's in, the Deado inside. We have to say our ad.
Okay, you perfect, because this would be a great time for me to get a glass of water and
Get some water. I'll read our ad.
salute the flag.
Salute the troops. With a ad read from a new sponsor, Emergency Divestus.
Ew.
In the heart of the big sky country, where religions roam and secrets thrive, there exists a force unseen yet powerful. Introducing Emergence Divestus, where money meets mystery and transactions transcend the ordinary. Where the guardians of wealth, the stewards of prosperity, operating silently yet efficiently, ensuring that the flow of capital remains unimpeded. Proudly American and fiercely dedicated to our nation's success. From the gridiron to the boardrooms, from Main Street to Wall Street, we stand ready to serve. Join us in shaping the future one transaction at a time. Emergence Divestus, where every dollar finds its purpose and every secret remains safe and unimpeded.
Unimpeded.
R.I. Unimpd.
You nailed
What do you
it.
think about that?
I think that's Grand
R.I.P.
Slam.
R.I. Unimpd.
Unimpeded.
Like
R.I.P.
unimpeded.
That's how I like my capital frame. If you didn't know.
We could workshop it a bit, but it's good. So, a movie.
Movie. What you got
And
for
you
me, baby?
you've told us this before. You hate when a movie starts in the future and then is like, this is
Yeah,
me, and this is
there's a
how I
word.
got.
Isn't that a there's a I think it's a Latin term, en media res, right? You
I
start
didn't.
in the middle of the action, and then you're like, whoa. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
That's exactly how this movie starts. He says, "I'm wondering how you got. You're probably wondering how I got here."
And it's
Because
like
it starts
if you're doing it,
3 to 4 in the future.
if you're gonna do that ironically, you can't anymore because everyone's done it ironically. Now it's just bad. You're not making the joke. You're just part of the
When did you
mass.
bring this up? Oh, it was Morbius when it started with him on the mountain with the bats, and then it was like
Yeah,
37 years earlier,
yeah,
Greece, and then he's in
37
the
years.
hospital.
That's a fucking kid. Yeah, that sucks. Bad start.
So, movie starts 3 to 4 days in the future when Nick is already a part of the R.I.P.D, tracking down a giant fat man with holes in his. He's a deado. And that's about it. We're back to current day. Boston Police Department detectives Nick Walker, played by Ryan Reynolds, and Bobby Hayes, Kevin Bacon, steal some gold that they find during a drug bust. And Nick ends up burying his share in his backyard underneath an orange tree, intending to use it to create a better life for himself and his wife, Julia, the sexy French Polish girl.
Oh, there's some early implications that she doesn't want that.
Oh,
Uh,
it was such a good back pop. Um, and Nick is just
Nick
with his
Walker.
Nick Walker. He's just kind of hanging with his French wife, his banging French wife, and they
He's,
love each other. They're
yeah,
always gonna be together, he says. Oh,
and then
uh,
he's got some work shit too.
yeah, he's hanging out in the
The
locker room.
Boston. Oh yeah.
Lars is the naked guy of the department. There's always a naked guy.
Oh, he's Nick guy. And Kevin Bacon's his partner.
Kevin Lamb is his partner.
Kevin Lamb. That's a good. It's great. Similar.
Who's the naked guy of your friend group? Was it you, Kevin, Chris, or
Oh, it was
Nate?
Chris.
Chris is the
It was
naked
Chris.
guy?
And me. Yeah.
You said Chris very fast, like you didn't even hesitate.
No, Chris was often in the nude. Yeah. Kevin never. He's a never nude. Kevin, not ham.
Are you sure it wasn't Kevin?
No, he's a never nude.
That also wouldn't surprise me at all. He wears the jean shorts underneath everything.
That's correct.
But he immediately starts to regret his decision of taking the gold, and he informs Hayes that he intends to return it. He tells Hayes, you don't have to change your mind. You can do what you wanted with your own gold, but I have to take this to evidence. It's just weighing on my conscience. But Hayes is like, you know what? That's for the best.
Right.
We should probably
He's like,
both.
it was weighing on my conscience too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Let's
they're
be poor
gonna,
together. Whatever.
yeah, let's be four together. Let's turn it in. Let's be the good cops. But then they get a call about, I don't remember his name, but like one of the biggest drug busts they could possibly find.
Meth dealer.
So they take off to go there. Why do always the cool cops, the cool detectives always drive around in some non-cop car muscle car?
I think that they've earned that privilege as detectives or something. I was wondering why all the cool detectives always go into gunfights like without helmets and stuff.
Or yeah, Kevin Bacon didn't have a goddamn bulletproof vest.
Leading point over the SWAT team.
Yeah, where are the where's the security
SWAT.
shields and the helmets? And
They had
were
SWAT
just
right there, and they're just like, yeah, like I got this, boys.
going in
So
like
they go in, they shoot like 40 bad guys. They kill them
murder.
all immediately.
How did they not get shot that whole time?
And
But
then it climaxes when he's chasing them.
I like
chasing
the
them.
camera.
I mean, I could see it was a lot of like bullet trainy looking like shit. Little John Wick type.
Yeah, in the raid of the warehouse, there was lots of
Yeah.
movement, odd angles that added suspense. But yeah,
Coalesce at the top of this
Nick
big
and Hayes.
staircase.
Good word.
Staircase.
Yeah, they were chasing the guy down. He just got off the window, turns around, almost shoots Hayes. He's like, "Oh man, I was so close to killing you." When Hayes tells him, "You can't return that gold. I need the gold."
See you, bud.
See ya, bud. Yeah, kills him to prevent him from returning the gold.
Unloads the machine gun into him. Yeah, smacks his neck in like a goofy way on the way down. Lands on the neck.
That's what I put too. I was like, I hate the way he landed on his face. It looks so fake.
And it hits his head on the way down. Yeah. I was just like, it ruined what's supposed to be his death scene.
Why couldn't he just got shot in the face? He falls
All
and lands like on his back, and then like wakes up. Yeah, no, he falls in like the scorpion position, and then like
I think that was dumb. I think that's bad. I don't know what they're going for. Maybe some sort of realism. I think it was bad. He wakes up with Marie Louise Parker in front of him, right?
Well, all time is frozen first. He like looks around.
Oh, yeah.
He's like observing everything that's happening in the real world until he gets outside and just gets sucked into the sky through a vortex.
That's right.
And I put not freaking out like at all. He shouldn't be this calm. You just got shot by your best friend partner.
I think he knows.
Frozen.
Yeah. I think he knows that what's happening. He's dying. I think the next part's confusing to him.
It is, but you should still be freaking out. But that's a Boston Police Department.
Yeah, tough motherfucker.
Could you imagine how good this film would have been with Casey Affleck and Matt?
I mean, probably not that good, granted.
Yeah, that's true. But the
some Deados. Yeah, it'd be good. I heard there's a Matt Damon movie coming out at the end of August with Matt Damon and Casey Affleck that I heard someone say is like has the spirit of the Casey Affleck Dunkin' Donuts SNL sketch.
That's one of my favorite ones. It was like, I love Dunkin'. So like, yeah, fucking Dunkin' is the fucking best, bro.
So I think it's like a Matt Damon Casey Affleck Boston comedy.
What are you feeling about that?
The Instigators, yes. Directed by Doug Liman. Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, R.I.P.D is great. We're gonna watch The Instigators.
How do you feel about the new F1 movie?
I'm pretty hyped about that shit. It's gonna be loud.
Huh?
It's gonna be loud in theaters.
It looks like it's gonna be a spectacle. It's gonna be like a Top Gun kind of thing. High adrenaline.
Chow is in it. She's their therapist. This is gonna be great.
Hong Chow is
in it. Yeah, Hong Chow's the third lead.
Oh, I thought when you said Hong Chow, for some reason I thought James Hong, and I was like, oh shit, no way. Yeah, that would be great. And then that one that I sent you, the Andrew Garfield, Florence Pugh one.
Oh yeah, that one's gonna look good.
I'm gonna cry so much in that. Also, have you heard much about that new one, Long Legs, yet? That Nicolas Cage horror film?
I've heard everything about it, Brandon.
What are they saying? Good or bad?
Amazing and like a horror nightmare inducing. So I don't know if I'll watch it.
Nice. I probably won't either, but that makes me excited. I like when there's
they say it's like one of the best in years.
A genuinely good horror movie that comes out.
Yeah, Sean Fennessy on The Ringer says he doesn't dream at all, and it gave him nightmares, which is like a weird hype for it.
What type?
This is hype.
Oh, hype. Did you watch the movie from last year, Talk to Me? The one with like hold the hands.
No, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I heard that was
I
really
love
good.
a truly good horror movie.
I
Anyway,
didn't like
all right.
I didn't like Martyrs. R.I.P.D.
I know
So he's with
you
Mary
like,
Louise Parker.
but you liked Get Out and Hereditary and Midsummer and
I didn't see Midsummer. Did like Hereditary. I love The Exorcist. So just gross horror. Like being spooked. That's fine. Okay. 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 So Mary Louise Parker is there. She's like the sergeant of the movie. She's like the
yeah.
police. She's like the police lady, and she's like, "All right, I get it. You're dead. You got to process this. But you're a bad cop, so you have to hang out here in the R.I.P.D. for 100 years, pay off your debt, essentially."
Yeah, this is Mildred Proctor. What a terrible name. But director of the Boston Rest in Peace Department. And yeah, apparently being in the RIPD can win him browning points to
Into heaven.
sway him for the afterlife to go to heaven. So he accepts to join for a century. And after she explains it's going to be to stave off a potentially negative final judgment, she tells him that deados are rotting corpses that have never crossed over and rot when they are on Earth too long. And I just put, they look nuts. Like
Yeah, they look like what's the zombie video game?
zombies.
No,
The Last of Us.
no, they're like hordes of them.
Zombies. Call of
No,
Duty
that's not.
Black Ops Zombies.
No, no, no. Left 4 Dead. That's
I
what
don't
it
know.
is.
Yeah.
They look like the zombies from Left 4 Dead.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah. They're all kind of body dysmorphia,
Some
like
bigger
I said,
zombies from
extra
World War
limbs
Z.
or teeth
Yeah.
or eyes, or they look like they've gone through definitely some sort of nuclear radiation.
So they're
Chernobyl
out
shit.
there hiding just like the aliens in Men in Black and the
Yeah.
ghosts and Ghostbusters.
And Adetto tries to escape in the precinct. And as he's running away towards the door, a cop vaporizes him right then and there. And this is where Nick meets his new partner, Roy Pulsifer, a crusty ex-U.S. Marshal who lived in the 1800s.
Yeah, this is Jeff Bridges. The best part of the film,
I agree.
in
And
my opinion,
Nick
is
and Roy immediately are just like, all right,
franchise.
we're going back to Earth. They go to Earth through a portal in a VCR repair shop. And they come back to attend Nick's funeral, where Nick is given the moment to get closure about his life and dying. But as he does it, he rushes for Julia and tries to like fight Hayes. Nothing goes as planned, and that's when he
Does.
learns
Yeah.
that RIP
That in this
officers are assigned avatars.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to reveal themselves as like whatever supernatural officer. So he's disguised as
Two
this Chinese
wild,
guy,
crazy guys.
this crazy Chinese guy, Jerry Chen, and
Yeah,
Roy
James Hong.
is disguised as the sexy Russian lady.
They they used that little
Yeah,
plot point of her being sexy so much in this
so
film
many criminals were horny for her.
that I wanted more comedic scenes out of the old Chinese man.
Yeah, they that balance was off. You're right. It was like 70-30 or
And
80-20. It should have been the opposite.
yeah, show me some Chinese love
That's
and
right.
not
It should have been flipped 100%.
yeah. So blah 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 blah.
Back at
There we
the
are. Yeah,
RPD.
he's Jerry Chen. She is Opal Pavlenko were their names. I put them down. And they drive, they argue about, the ideas of partners and getting shot because they've both been shot. They argue about women's ankles because apparently Jeff Bridges has an ankle fetish.
It's a little low
I didn't
hanging.
see the ankles on your wife. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. Don't say that.
Those are fighting words. And then they're back at RIPD or something.
Uh, no. Nick accompanies Roy to the apartment of suspect Stanley
Oh,
Nalicki.
there's a deado, and yeah, you can tell there's a deado there because like the lights are bad.
The
There's some bugs.
equipment's faulty. Yeah, it's always kind of greasy. There's definitely telltale signs. And if you're a trained R.I.P.D veteran, you can
Yeah,
track a pedo down just like that.
just like that.
And so they come into his room and they start like interrogating him, and they
They
end
ask
up,
weird questions
yeah,
about
all the
Indian
questions
food.
are uh about teens, Asian automobiles, and Indian cuisine. But Stanley ends up transforming into his deado form via the cumin powder in the Indian food, and he is getting arrested, just throws down some gold plates inside of a milk carton, and then tries to break loose.
Gets out of the window, right? Jumps out.
Jumps the window. Nick watches him like splatter on the ground, but he's a deado. He's not going to die from
That's
a
fine. So
20-story
they
fall.
follow after him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Roy pushes Nick out, riding him
Roy
like a
uses
horse.
Nick as a cushion. Some chase in New York,
And
or
no,
Boston,
Boston.
rather. I
And he's
said.
eventually killed by Roy using a soul killer bullet that erases him from the cosmos after Nick was beating him up with his own detached arm. And Roy's so pissed because after all that, because Nick was pissed that he was used as a cushion, he threw him in front of a bus. And Roy's not upset that he was hit by a
He
bus or
lost his
anything.
hat.
Yeah, lost his cowboy hat.
But now they have this weird gold. So they head back to R.I.P.D. Nick's like, "What's up with the gold, man?" Roy's like, "It's
They,
fucking nothing."
they were like identical to the ones that Nick stole. And they're logging it into evidence. And you can tell Nick's like, ooh, I don't feel good about this. And so he finally confesses it to Roy, and Roy's like, oh, I knew you were. I knew you were fucking bad.
Yeah, they're all bad. That's why they're there.
True. But he is suspicious of the guy trying to hide the gold from him when he was about to die. So he persuades Nick to follow up on an investigation and use Roy's informant, Elliot, Mike O'Malley,
Mike O'Malley.
who is
Good cameo from Mr. Mike.
just a diehard Red Sox fan.
I think that's like his real life. I think that's just who he is. That's Mike O'Malley. I'm pretty like 95% sure. I think he hosts like a Red Sox radio show. So he gets like a
Oh,
funny little
really?
in joke. Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
did love watching the 2013 roster of the Red Sox when they were announcing David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia. I was like, those are my guys.
That was a golden age, yeah. Were they playing? The White Sox?
I don't remember who they were playing. For
That was a big name.
some reason the Padres is standing out to me.
A
Or the Pirates. I thought I remembered seeing like a yellow blackish combo.
yellow pea.
I saw a yellow penis on the screen, and
So Mike O'Malley gives up the goods. He also says like, yeah, this thing's I've never seen this before. I would hear if they were looking for this weird bullshit. It's nothing.
yeah, he tells him it's pointless because Deados just love trinkets. But Nick dupes him into leading them to his contact. And his contact, Elliot's contact, is Hayes.
Bacon,
Bacon.
his ex-partner. Weird.
Very weird. Are you more of a bacon or a sausage guy?
Definitely a bacon guy.
Me too.
I don't put on airs about that shit.
What's your preferred way of cooking eggs?
Fried.
Okay. And
Fried
then are
egg.
you a pancake, waffle, French toast, or crepe guy?
Give me a waffle out of those.
And then how do you do your potatoes? You do it like hash browns, you do it like breakfast
Crispy hash
potatoes.
browns.
Okay.
What about
So
you?
classic American breakfast, you're doing waffle, fried egg, bacon, and hash browns.
I'm in heaven. What about you?
I think I'm
What
doing
about Brandon?
Hey!
Oh,
I think I'm going French toast with
controversial.
scrambled eggs. Bacon for sure. I'm a bacon guy.
He doesn't put on eggs.
And then I love the little diced breakfast potatoes. Those are my kind. So
Okay.
we only shoot
What
bacon.
about bread?
Like toast, or like if I
Toast
could
or
do
muffin
toast
or
or a
whatever.
breakfast muffin. Okay. I do love a biscuits, but
Ugh.
I usually like it as a full like biscuits and gravy kind of thing. So I
Yeah,
think I'm
gotta
gonna
have
go.
gravy.
I think I'm going sourdough toast here.
Ugh.
What?
Brandon.
What? Yeah. Buttered
Um,
toast.
I think my penultimate choice would be, or my second, my silver would be English muffin,
Okay.
and then my gold is this thing called Dutch toast, which my family makes. It's like little older bread cut up into little squares. Fried.
That's called mold.
Pretty good though.
Mold
Come
is
on.
good. I mean, cheese is moldy usually.
Cheese?
Blue cheese is
Cheese.
just moldy cheese.
So
I'm glad we
they're like
discussed.
the breakfast.
I'm
Yeah.
glad we discussed our breakfast choices here today. That was important to get out in the
Impactful.
open. My asthma's flaring up. I feel tightness.
Oh no. You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm totally fine. It's just weird. So
It's just weird,
the, co-
folks.
the contact is haze. Something's
Contact is
up.
haze. That something is up. That's bizarre. So they head back to R.I.P.D. right now. Damn it.
They don't. Nick and Roy follow him to Nick's old house, where Hayes is chatting
That's
up
right.
Julia and
Nick's like Roy's
retrieves
like,
Nick's share of gold, which leads
yeah,
Julia to believe that Nick was a corrupt cop.
yeah, which just upsets Nick to no end because that's all he cares about. It's because what his wife's opinion of him is, right? So he says, "Fuck this! I've got to get my name back. I've got to clear this all. We're gonna have to bust Hayes and turn this whole thing around."
But after a brief confrontation and face punching moment between Nick and Roy over the stolen gold, they tail Hayes to a bus depot where he ends up giving the gold to a large sideburns deado named Pulaski.
That's
And so
the
the duo
fence.
corner Pulaski and try intimidating him. They pull him into a kitchen fridge. How do they get
You
in
need to.
there?
That was odd. Do you need to hit your inhaler or something?
Maybe. I'll
Okay,
leave if I do.
okay, I got you. So they like corner him. They're like, "Fucking, we got this Cuban dude. Don't fuck around. Like, we'll mess with you right now." And then the guy's like,
He
"I
was
don't give a
so
fuck."
metal. He was
He
so
snorted it
metal.
all. Yeah, he snorted it all in front of him, became a gigantic deado, and then took off into the street, off the fucking window. And then we're at the beginning of our movie. Here, our media res has been realized. This is where the movie
You're
started.
probably wondering how I got here.
And we've figured it out now. They're chasing the deado throughout the streets of Boston.
A lot of destruction.
A lot of people seeing what's going on. Yeah.
So I'm wondering though at this moment, because they have the avatars, right, that cover up their identities.
Yeah.
When a deado does the cumin powder, snorts the cumin powder, whatnot, to reveal their actual selves to Roy and Nick, do you
Yeah,
think
I
it
think they
reveals their
reveal
actual
themselves to
selves
everybody
to
because
everybody? Okay,
I think they showed a news scene and there was like fucking mutants flying around.
you're right. But during this chase, it just looks like a Russian woman being dragged on a wire by this giant mutant, and then a
And the
Chinese
Chinese
man
man being
chasing him
flattened by
down with
cars
a
and
van.
stuff. Yeah, we can't have a
That
gun.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they don't have gun. The soul killer guns are actually just bananas. So
that's right.
interesting. I was wondering if it did show their form, but yeah, he was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it. Let's go." The destruction was so immense that it made headlines, and so
Mhm.
Proctor ends up infuriated. They get suspended and
Despite the
taken
fact that they brought in
the
a
gold.
very Yeah, well, and then the elders or whatever, the Eternal Affairs little pun, was like, this is the staff of Jericho. It's like the most dangerous thing ever. If the Deados get a hold of it, they'll reverse the tunnel and everyone will be dead. Deados will be here forever. We're fucked. So then they do get suspended anyways, yeah.
Like it's such a big lead that they have. Like they know the suppliers, they know exactly where to find him. I have the connection. He was my partner. Also here's the gold that they need. Like you can't suspend him there.
Gotta let it slide.
You gotta let it slide. But they get suspended and then taken off the case. Yeah, I did love Eternal Affairs. I thought that was clever, actually. Very clever.
Internal Affairs is the
and then Proctor's like, you guys might even be erased. Like, you guys might be goners. I was like, damn.
He's like, you probably are going to get erased. Like 100, almost 100%. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was like a 99, whatever. And so they end up learning the pieces of the gold are components of the Staff of Jericho is what it's called.
Exactly. Cool name, I guess.
Cool name. Which is a device that reverses the vortex tunnel transport system so that the dead can come into the afterlife, returning them to Earth and
superheroes. It's like every Iron Man movie. Yeah, sure.
It is literally the first Avengers movie where Loki gets the tool to open up a gate to send all of his army to Earth and take over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so Marvel coded at the end here. And the kind of spoiler alert, I guess I liked the like emotional sort of dirty cop side angle. I don't know if like's maybe not the strongest word, but like when it turns into Marvel Stop the Deados and the fucking lightning staff and the staff of Jericho and the portal gate, I wanted to throw up. But when it's like this interesting sort of, deadly cop unearthing a sort of plot from his earthly partner, that's more interesting, I think.
That's very good. And I also liked this sentimental scene that comes up where Julia's running on the track.
And I did too. You're right. This is great.
Where he walks up to her. He's as James Wong. He's an Asian man, an old Chinese man. But he confronts her. He had like confronted her at the funeral, so she recognizes him as he made a scene. But he comes up and he just like gently touches her face and like lifts her chin up.
Yeah, and for like
just those
3 seconds,
things like make her realize that this actually could be Nick in a different body.
But then she opens her eyes.
He's just trying to get the love of his life back. I was like, this is decent. I
think when she opens her eyes and it turns from that when she's like, it could be, and she's like, nope, can't be, never mind, out of here. I think that's even better because that's like, oh, you wanted to realize that scene, and then she even realizes it and rejects it.
Well, yeah, because it's the movie. It's crazy that you would even think that this is your husband. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was great.
You're right.
It almost worked. They decide that Nick and Roy decide that even though they're kicked off the case, they're going to continue the investigation on their own to hopefully stop this apocalypse that's going to happen. And Hayes meets with a Deado and gives him the gold. He says, they've been at this. They've been at this for like 3,000 years. Like, this has been a long haul. And finally, Hayes is like, I'm the guy who did it. Look at me.
Bitch. Yeah.
bitch. And
they need one more piece, though.
They do need one more piece.
Or 2 more pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple more. But Julia calls Hayes to tell him that this random Chinese guy visited her at the track last night. And she's like, I somehow think that this is Nick trying to communicate with me from the afterlife. And Hayes is like, oh, fuck.
It is Nick. Yeah, he is. Fuck, yeah. So he's on the case.
And so Nick and Roy end up going to visit Hayes, who quickly finds out who they are. He sees Roy as the fucking big-breasted Russian lady. And then he comes in holding a shotgun and he's like, oh, Nick. I knew it. I knew the Chinese man was Nick.
Yep.
Because
he's like really horny for the Russian lady, but
Everyone was.
Yeah,
Everyone. But yeah, he meets them. He finds out who they are, and he was wearing this charm bracelet the whole time. I didn't get the full significance of how this transpired and kept his form, but he takes off the St. Christopher charm that masks his true form, and like the whole house starts getting destroyed, and his face comes distorted. He reveals his Deado self.
And then they like arrest him. He's pretty willing to go to the police office. So he's like, "Yep,
Yeah,
you got me, whatever."
You got.
He's smiling the whole time, and then he's like back to normal Kevin Bacon for the most part.
Yeah. Also,
really Deado for very long.
I wanted just a little more backstory about him becoming a Deado, because
it was alluded to.
It was, point. but he previously said that they've been at this for 3,000 years, and then just recently, tells Nick in the car that he was shot in this gambling bust or whatever.
Thing, he's just saying like we in the collective, us as Deado since.
Oh, okay.
Team Deado now. We've been at it for 3,000 years, and I do think he was like a dirty cop who died or shot and died, and then made a weird deal and skirted death, and then made that miraculous recovery. Yeah, that's my read.
Yeah, he got a Purple Heart or something for his in the line of duty when he got shot, but he actually died. Came a Deado, masked himself, all that stuff. I just wish there were a little more. But Hayes and some other Deados are all kind of in the precinct, just hanging out and eyeing each other when they managed to escape by using a device that Hayes had smuggled in.
They should have used this all the time.
All the time. He knew that the other artifact was going to be there. It slowed time, and then they were just able to escape.
Was it like a one-time use thing? They should have used that the whole movie. I hate when...
Yeah, right? They used it once. It doesn't affect Deados, but it affects all other dead people and the life people.
Like, shoot everybody then. I don't know, they have a time limit on the thing.
You're right. They didn't. The only reason time sped back up is because Roy ended up shooting the doohickey itself, opening it back up. But yeah, they could have just walked around and bang, 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 bang.
That's like a cinema sin problem, but like a little thoughtlessness. Anyways, I think they should have. They get rid of the time gun. Have a different way for the Deados to get out of there.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
A universe-winning thing.
Oh, I just brought this here, and the other half happens to be sitting right fucking next to it.
Nothing. I think that people don't realize too. You can't ever top the time freezing scene in Cat from Outer Space. So it's like, going into it, it's not going to be as good and effective as that scene.
Exactly.
It's like you're going up to the high jump bar, and the bar's fucking 45 feet up there. You're like, I can't. How are you supposed to do that?
Can't do it. So they freeze time to steal all the gold plates from the evidence room, the vaults, and are able to assemble the Staff of Jericho now.
Except for one more part.
Yeah, and so all the Deados are out here ready to stop the R.I.P.D. at all costs. They form barricades. They got guns. That Soul Killer Gatling gun was very overpowered.
That was Jesus. Fire. I thought so too.
But I think the second best scene of the film was when they're reloading the Gatling gun, right? And Roy goes full 1800s Western cop and does the Mexican standoff, where
that was good.
He's figuring out because I'll say this now. I didn't put it as a quote because I just put it in here, where they're like, "What are we gonna do?" And Roy's like, "Don't worry about it. I invented this shit." And then gets his guns ready, and I was like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah, I'll fucking Doc. What's the Doc in the West? What's his name? Doc Ellis. No. Doc Ellis pitched the no-hitter on LSD. Doc Holliday. Right?
Slim Pickens. Who you're thinking?
Slim Pickens.
But this is not a Marvel feeling scene. It's an old-timey Western feeling scene, which is why it's great.
This is good. Yes, you're right. Before it turns into aliens dropping in Deados and
He
shit.
kills everybody. He's even telling Nick, he's like, this is where you're going to find one. First one's always here. Second one's in the hotel room. You got to check the
I
church.
like that. On the window. Yep. Boom. Yes.
And so while the Deados assemble the staff of Jericho, Hayes kidnaps Julia to use her as a human sacrifice to
Which
open
they didn't talk about before this.
No.
Yeah. But
that's just, we have to sacrifice somebody. That's happened. And he reveals himself to her as a Deado with the giant hole in his head. Nick and Roy end up killing so many Deados who had that barricade set up to get to the staff of Jericho. And then they get to the rooftop where Hayes is trying to open up everything with her blood.
Open the heaven gate, yeah.
And I liked Kevin Bacon as the bad cop this whole time. But when he turns into the Deado and reveals himself, why did he speak like a cartoon? He's like, hey, guys, here I am. This is what we got to do. I was like, no.
Well, it was a little bit he turned into the bad guy from Morbius, or the good guy from Morbius, or the white guy from Morbius. Not
maybe. He also reminded me of Bugs Bunny, though.
No, it's like full evil. Yeah, you're right. Cartoon evil.
I was like, you don't have to do this, but they arrive. Nick is trying to save Julia after Hayes stabbed her, and her blood's just continuously getting sucked into this staff that's activating the portal. And while he does that, Roy is going to try and take down the staff of Jericho.
Keep in mind, they're suspended this whole time.
They are suspended. And of course, Nick runs out of bullets right as he's up to Hayes. Yeah. So they have to do hand-to-hand combat instead. And Roy can't destroy the staff of Jericho. It's too heavy. So they both have to find ways around it. They end up killing Hayes, breaking the staff, all that stuff. And although all that happens, Julia succumbs to her wounds. Time pauses. She sees Nick as himself, and they share a tearful goodbye. I thought another decent scene. When the time freezes, those were good scenes.
But not by way of the Deados, when it's in supernatural mode, when it's like crossing from this earth to heaven or whatever. Those are good.
Those are good scenes.
The Deados running a heist.
Yeah. When it is time has stopped because I'm transcending into the limbo, great. When it's a plot device to use Deados to escape prison,
as a bank
bad.
Heist. Yeah.
So Julia actually ends up getting revived in the hospital. Like, all the time was stopped, but then she wakes up in the hospital and begins recovery. And this was because Proctor granted a second chance to her as a favor to Nick for saving the universe.
They never give,
He only gets off with a warning from Eternal Affairs, but Roy got 53 more years added to his already extended time in the R.I.P.D.
Which Roy, I think, secretly relishes, of course.
He does. He does. And he's pretending to be upset, but then he gets actually genuinely giddy when Proctor gives him his hat back. Oh, my hat!
And then they're gonna go on a date or something later. And then at the end, they switch
tea. She's like, I like tulips or whatever, and then I was like, ugh.
And then he gets his hat back. Nick switches avatars. He's no longer Jerry Champion. I think trying to set up a sequel.
Which never happened. Roy pulled some strings, so now he's a 10-year-old Girl Scout with braces. And that's the end of R.I.P.D. R.I.P. out, homies.
R.I.P. out.
R.I.P.D. QRRs.
R.I.P.D.A.
Ooh. Mwah.
QRR. PDA for the quarters.
PDA for the quarters. You take any quotes?
No. You forget, Brandon. Palestine is not free. They're still at war.
You're right. I've got 9 quotes, 10 if you count the I invented this shit, which I do. I'm gonna put that as one. That's a great bar. That's a line. That's real dialogue.
You give your first quote, and I will get another drink of water because it's all hot out.
3 that I took from IMDb. The first one is by Proctor. She says, talking about deados to Nick, until they pop, they look like regular people. So no one except us knows they're monsters inside. You see, if you slip through the cracks and stay on Earth after you die, your soul rots. They rot. The world rots. Global warming, Black Plague, bad cell reception. Get it? I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh.
Nick, another Proctor quote. Nick goes, I'm dead. And she goes, well, let's be honest. Being a dirty cop is one of the higher shot in the face percentage jobs. And I was like, that's actually pretty good. I like that. When I wrote the script and I took the quotes down from IMDb, I didn't know whose character was who, but just from reading this, I was like, oh, Nick is Ryan Reynolds because this is so coded in Ryan Reynolds dialogue. It was like, it's when they're talking about their name. Nick was like, when exactly was your day? And Roy goes, 1800s, buddy. I'm what we used to call a lawman. Marshal Roycephus Pulsifer. And he just goes, Roycephus? He was like, it was considered a very sexy name at the time. And Nick just sounds like an STD. And I was like, oh, that's a Ryan Reynolds line. The STD shit.
So much better.
Another Ryan Reynolds shit, referring to the bracelet that Hayes wears and then his own bulletproof vest. Like we said, they're not wearing shields or anything. He goes, this stops bullet. Yours stops you from getting dates.
Hey, got his ass.
Ryan Reynolds line.
Coded.
Nick asked, you ever think about hiding this place better, which is the portal between Earth and the limbo? And Jipper just goes, when was the last time you had a VCR repaired? Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is a Jeff Bridges quote when they are interrogating the first guy using the cue cards, and he's just eating like curry right in front of him. And they keep saying the thing. He's like sweating so much, freaking out from the cumin, and he just goes, "Maybe you hate Injun."
Injuns, I think.
Yeah, INJUNS, Injuns. I was like, oh,
well, that's the lingo back then.
I
can do it. We have to allow these two to do it.
Exactly. Mike O'Malley quote that got me going. He goes, when he asks if the gold is worth anything, he goes, not really. Deados are just sentimental. A lot of them believe in this talismanic crap.
I backed that too. Yeah, a word you've known for a decade at least.
Nope. I've known since September of 2022.
Dwarf game.
No, Champions of Wrath never uses the word talisman.
All over that shit.
But I heard talismanic. I paused. I was like, I have to write this down. Penultimate quotes. Roy quote. When they see Hayes come over to meet Julia, and then he ends up pulling up the gold. Roy's curious of why he's here. He goes, if he's not here to bang your wife, it's kind of weird, actually. Unless you had a pact with him to wipe off porn off each other's computer. Now that makes sense. It's classy, actually.
Classic from the 1800s, Marshall.
Yeah. And then, what the fuck is... I don't even remember who said this. I think it's... I don't know. I think... I don't know. It's... How about a little drinky poo? I think Ryan Reynolds says it. And then somebody says, sure, I'll wet my beak.
No, that's Kevin Bacon says that to have a little drinky poo to Jeff Bridges, who is in the form of the Russian lady. He's trying to bang the Russian.
He's trying to bang her. And he goes, how about a little drinky poo? I was like, that's disgusting.
That is gross.
Sure, I'll wet
my beak.
And then it comes out, I'll wet my beak. Exactly. I'll wet my beak. Jeff Bridges, what a guy.
What a guy.
That's ending quotes. And then I invented this shit. Ratings time. Thermometer.
Guys,
You're down 0-4 right now.
Seth, this is
Yeah.
unbelievable. I'm gonna say
So, thermometer,
thermometer
critics, percentage. What are you thinking?
38. 38.
38%. Seth wins. It's a 12%.
Whoa.
Very low.
That's
Very,
very
very low.
low.
What about the audience, though?
38.
You're sticking with it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 38!
Is it really?
It's a 38.
That's what we're talking about. I'm not out yet.
5-2, baby. 5-2.
But something
You'd
was
think
telling
a
me it was
Ryan
38.
Reynolds movie, it would be higher. It's not. 38. IMDb Metascore out of 100.
3.0.
3.0. It's a 2.5. You're still in it.
Still in it. I gotta hit this last one though.
You'd have to
Gotta
hit
hit
it
it.
right on. Audience score out of 10.
Gotta hit it right on. Out of 10. Hold on. I'm doing something else.
No, don't. No researching.
Out of 10. Audience score 5.2.
Oh, it's a
That's a good
5.6. You got the point, but
I
a
lose the
valiant
game.
effort
I lose the
late,
battle.
but
Wow.
nobody's ever come back from
I shouldn't have
05.
fucked around in the first quarter. Damn it. You're right. No one
So
ever will.
critics gave it a 12 and a 25 for an 18.5. Audiences a 38 and a 56 for a 47. What are
The
you
Ryan
giving
Reynolds golf.
IMDb?
A 4.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Higher than I thought for you.
I thought the same as well. And higher than I thought the ending I was gonna give it as well. I think I genuinely liked the supernatural stuff, not the R.I.P.D. Get that out of here, but like the crossing over, the actual like supernatural, sort of faith, sort of mystic stuff going on. That was cool. That had some meaningful. I thought the Ryan Reynolds Julia arc had some juice to it. I thought Kevin Bacon was good. I thought Jeff Bridges was good. I think my hate with Ryan Reynolds considered all that adds up to about a 4.8, did I say?
4.7.
4.7, that's right.
Okay. I'm surprised. Anything with Ryan Reynolds, I'm already thinking for you is below a 5.0. So like,
yeah,
this is peak Reynolds for you.
it might be his best movie.
And it's funny because Seth had seen this and he kept telling me, he's like, it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. I was ready to give it in the 4s. I think I'm a 5.6.
Okay, that's fair. I don't bemoan that.
5.9.
5.9. He jumped at 3 points. So I don't bemoan that either.
You kind of touched on this stuff. I love a storyline about a dirty cop. That's great. That it's always suspenseful. It always adds some action moments. As it's great writing, it's great television, it's great movies. You did say that the Nick and Julia stuff had some true heart. That track scene was great.
Yes, maybe because Ryan Reynolds was only in a quarter of it.
It was the Asian man. Jeff Bridges, as much as he mumbled his way through this, is Jeff Bridges. He's a good actor for sure. Kevin Bacon, I thought was the best performance.
He can do it all.
Yeah. Okay. And I didn't think the CGI was that great. I thought the Deados kind of were an ugly.
Yeah. Non-creative.
I know it's like they're supposed to be unappealing, but it was an unappealing CGI. It didn't do anything for me, and
it was like farts.
Give me something that really captures my attention, So, but a 5.9. I thought it was okay. Yeah,
me as well.
So between us, 5.3. Do you want to know where this lands on our list?
Sure. For us?
Yeah, for us. I did love that we subbed out Shallow Hal for Devin's movie Gentlemen Broncos, which was rated a 6.1, and on our list they both were the 97th. Like we just subbed in right at the exact same spot.
Perfect. That's funny.
They were rated just better than The Cat from Outer Space.
No, how dare they?
And just worse than Lyle
9.3.
Lyle Crocodile.
What the hell? I love The Cat from Outer Space, and I hate Lyle.
I think it's so funny that Lyle was previously one spot better than The Cat from Outer Space, but so R.I.P.D. just worse than this. Oh, rated so low, just worse. Spy Kids.
Love Spy Kids.
As well as Good Luck Chuck, Kicking and Screaming, Dude, Where's My Car, Hotel for Dogs, Jack Frost, and Little Nicky.
Some weird movies in there.
Just better than this, though.
What did we give back? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So what did we give Jack Frost? I don't remember. Did we like it?
We thought Jack Frost was pretty good because
we gave like 6s and 7s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Just better than this, you've got one of the Transformers 4, Age of Extinction, but then a run of like your kind of movies. You got Liar Liar Vampire. You got Gus. You've got The $1 Million Duck.
Ooh.
You got Fool's Gold.
Ooh, Lucas. That's the Lucas section of the library.
And then and then Monster Trucks.
Okay, but yeah, that's a real Lucas's aisle.
Liar Liar. What was it? Gus, $1 Million Duck, and what was the other one I said? Oh, Fool's Gold. Those are big time guilty pleasures for you. So that's where this lands. It's reviews. I have no critics. There were only, honestly, for a big movie like this, there was pretty minimal research.
I think Ebert might have been dead at this point or on death's door.
This is the year he died, so
death's door then.
There were only 2 on Wikipedia, and they were blah, so I didn't take them. But I do have the normal 7 users.
Is the Songbird among them?
No, she's been kind of absent recently.
Yeah, how come she hasn't seen R.I.P.D?
And I look for her, but Snoopy style.
Yeah, well, she's always
August 24th, 2013. He says Jeff Bridges really hams it up in this one. The partners don't like each other, which breaks the cardinal rule of buddy cop movies. However much they bitch and whine, they are in their core supposed to be best friends. Granted, they do grow into good partners, but much of the damage is already done. The bromance really has a difficult time. Kevin Bacon is not big enough as a villain. The duo has another person to the everyday living people. Roy has an avatar in the form of Marissa Miller, and Nick has James Hong as his avatar. It's supposed to be hilarious, but they never allow it to get too funny. With a hot chick like Marissa Miller, you'd think there would be a lot of inappropriate humor. 5 out of 10. We kind of agreed. They should have leaned into the Chinese
That's like
thing.
every buddy cop movie, though, is that they start off hating each other and then they grow to love each other.
Yeah, it really is. Snoopy style kind of missed there.
Yes.
Returner Leah.
Because what's coded in the buddy cop movie is the homosexual romantic comedy.
Yes.
Unrealized.
Returner Leah Dlaka.
Yeah, it's Dracula.
It's a vampire. February 26, 2015 says, R.I.P.D. is the latest big bucks Hollywood blockbuster to attempt to entertain audiences by throwing constant, large-scale, mindless CGI at them. It needs the CGI to get through because story-wise it's a real mess. What follows is a completely soulless, no pun intended, comedy adventure in which every joke and attempted joke falls flat. Once it finishes ripping off Men in Black, R.I.P.D. turns into some kind of Ghostbusters riff, although it's a far cry from that classic movie. The CGI is rather lamentable considering the numbers of dollars spent on it, and the characters are so predictable that you'll be citing at the sloppy writing. Once more, Hollywood brings out a movie where fun is made of ethnic minorities, women, and the obese, and when the scriptwriters expect us not to notice just how many plot holes and goofs are present throughout. 4 out of 10.
Pretty strong number for such a hateful review.
Very hateful.
A woke review. But I mostly agree, I guess.
What do you think is the better one, Ghostbusters or Men in Black?
Men in Black.
I think so too. I think the first Men in Black might be in like the low eights for
It's
me.
goated.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
In the
yeah,
mid
I love Men
eights.
in Black. High eights maybe for me. Might be a yeah, 4.5, 4 stars, something like that.
Yeah.
I love Men in Black.
Next, Return
Ghostbusters
of Cost
funny,
Mask.
but yeah, Men in Black's great.
Men in Black's so good. Cost Mask though.
Oh, fucking dumbass city right here.
September 1st, 2013, he says, I mean, I get it. People were comparing this to Men in Black even before it was released. Unfortunately, the producers and the makers of this film, it seems that Ryan Reynolds is box office poison. He might have been the hope for some studios, but I'm not sure if they're willing to bet money on him. And it's unfortunate, especially because his chemistry with Jeff Bridges is really amazing. There are quite a lot of funny moments in this, and it would have been fun to see where this would have been heading. Having another A-lister with Kevin Bacon, you do wonder why this went south. But great special effects, too. 7 out of 10.
So yeah, just every corner of dumbass city Cost Mask hits on. He gives it way too good of a number that it deserves. Number one. Number two, he's like Ryan Reynolds. People refuse to go see Ryan Reynolds at the box office. Like has been proven demonstrably false for the next decade after this. People flock to see mediocre movies by Ryan Reynolds. And he's just like, but it was a good. He's like, it's a good movie. It's no one's gonna ever watch a Ryan Reynolds movie again. Step like what the fuck,
So,
Cost Mask?
literally 1 year too
Everything
soon, and then Ryan Reynolds blows up.
He's so dumb. He's such a dumbass. He's great for that.
Next, returner No God, No Masters. On August 3rd,
There's a Mookie
2018,
Award.
they say nominee, he didn't win.
He's gonna win.
He says the plot, insane as it was, had some good Men in Black potential. So much Men in Black. Indeed, they spend money on special effects. The main problem was that the main characters were more annoying than entertaining, especially Jeff Bridges, who downright prated on my nerves. The characters and dialogue had no hook. Mary Louise Parker had some snarky lines, but wasn't on the screen long enough. Worth a rental, but not much more. Near F-bomb, no sex or nudity. 6 out of 10.
Another high score for that. Yeah.
I love that he always gives us F-bomb, sex, and nudity. Oh, we didn't do our faith-based review.
We never do anymore. This is pretty vulgar. Let's see.
There's a lot of
language. Violence, like a 4.
Violence got to be a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, language. They say fuck.
No, they said a near F-bomb. They did say shit a couple times.
3.
It's probably 3 out of 5. Sex, there was no sex. So 0 out of 5.
Though, on a bed. Sorry,
right.
panties. So like a 2.
2. Nudity is a 0 though. There was cleavage.
1. Yeah.
So at 3, 6, 10 out of that.
Jesus.
Other there was disputes and undead.
Yeah.
That's got to be a 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, and then there was like undead, and then they talked about Jesus, and then there was hell and shit. So probably like a 5 for the Lord.
No, but you want it to be 0. It is holy, but
no, it's bad holy. It's demonic.
Oh, it is. Yeah, so that's a 5 for sure. So that's 19. Integrity, bad cops. They were dirty cops. That's a 4.
They were dirty cops.
That's a 20.
And a woman in there.
And then alcohol and smoking.
There was a cigarette at one point, I think.
There was, yeah.
Like a 2.
2.
Not bad though.
25 out of 40. Hell yeah.
Okay, right down the middle, America.
3 final reviews. I think all newcomers. This first one's by PhD Travel. On August 14th, 2013. Almost your birthday.
Wow.
They said, if James Hong scenes are the funniest part of this movie, you know this movie is in trouble. It's badly written, not funny, with banal banter between the lead actors and characters that aren't endearing. The battles on the unattractive street of Boston are dizzying with repetitive flying around. Don't waste your time. 1 out of 10.
That's fine. Yeah, banal.
These just hate Boston.
I think. Well, I couldn't tell it was Boston either.
I couldn't.
That's why I kept calling it New York because it was so. Which is like you're watching The Town. You're just like, it's like bastard.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, fuck yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't
Back,
tell it's
yeah.
Boston at all. Penultimate's by Movie Lover 365. Movie Lover
Movie love.
365. Moopy Lover. June 3rd, 2023. They say, not sure what or how many politically incorrect hot buttons this movie inadvertently pushed to get it buried like it was. Perhaps there were just too many movies like this out at the time, but I am very glad I found this one last night. This is probably the first comedy I have ever wondered who the writers were. So many hilarious exchanges, it was too difficult to keep up with. The premise is silly, but just silly enough to deliver some silly lines, not too silly to be able to suspend disbelief. I'm watching it again, which I never do.
Well,
Thank you, Phil Hay, Matt Manfredi, and David Dobkin for making me laugh out loud literally.
loves the
10 out.
writers. No love for the director.
Yeah, no, not at all. And it was silly.
Okay. That reminds me a little bit of like when I was like 8 and I thought like the writer is in charge of the movie. They wrote the story, right? Like
Yeah.
they're the boss. They're the author. Little did we know.
No. And my last one's by O'Neill Charlene 55.
55.
On October 4th, 2021, they say, this movie is so bad, I can't even. 1 out of 10.
What a review.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Short and
beautiful.
succinct. So, are you going to recommend R.I.P.D?
I don't think so. I think I liked it a lot more than I thought. I think people probably like it more than I do. I can't in good conscience recommend this type of movie, knowing the oeuvre people have come to expect of me. If I go around recommending
That's fair.
fuck R.I.P.D. the people and they're like, it's a Lucas pick, I'm gonna lose all my credibility. They're used to Boon Me. They're used to dwarves and starting
Frank.
small. And Frank.
I think I will recommend this. I'm surprised I am. It was short too. It was not including the credits, an hour
136.
26. Yeah, with the
Was there a credit
128.
scene?
There wasn't.
That's good.
But there was a long time of credits. It was under an hour and a half. I was like, okay. I do recommend you watch Men in Black or Ghostbusters first, but if you
My
enjoy those kind of films, then take a peek at this. It was pretty good. Next week, we might have Carter on, and we're doing a Neil Breen classic called Double Down. You're probably all like, who's Neil Breen? Yeah, first Neil Breen.
Well,
He's
the eighth biggest
just
bad movie podcast has to do a Neil Breen podcast.
we
Neil Breen
sure
episode.
damn do. He is like one of the pioneers of bad movies.
So go vote. Make sure go vote for the podcast for our show. Go out and vote for us.
Go out and vote. Send us voice messages on Anchor Podcasters by Spotify,
Yeah,
and tell us your perfect breakfast combo.
Yeah, and then our republic is also ending. So send me
That's
ideas
true as well.
of what to become in the wasteland. Maybe a
Our
shoe merchant. Maybe a hat maker.
Our republic is ending just like this podcast is ending. Nice.
Maybe a trapper. No, maybe I could make funny squares for people to put in their pockets. No waste. That is exciting a little bit. We don't know what society is going to be. It's all about what you need, what you don't need. What value you have, right? After America descends, I think people are going to need hats.
Gotta pick up a new trade.
We're all going to have to. No one's going to want to learn what fucking Lord of the Flies has to say, even though it might behoove them, Brandon.
Nobody's gonna want their meds. They're just gonna want these silly hats.
They probably are going to want meds, but they're going to want a hat for sure to keep the sun.
We'll do like a, give me one, give you one. We'll give each other referrals,
Give me a med, I'll give you a hat. That's right.
Yeah.
That'll work. Alrighty. Later,
Good job.
Brandino.
Good job getting it all done in one night.
It's a rarity for me. It's been a while.
10 o'clock. It's late for you.
Yeah. Off to the golf course I go.
All right.
Peace, Brady.
Later.